Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for everyone who's listening on the podcast, welcome back to another episode of Bucci Radio. So excited! I don't know if you guys know who this is. If you don't know who she is, her name is Alyse, and her brand on YouTube is called Raw Alignment, and she has a massive YouTube channel, a massive business, and a massive impact on this world, and I'm so excited that she's here!
Oh, me too.
Thanks for being on everything, podcast, YouTube.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so Alyse and I met online. She commented on one of my videos. I was talking about business or money or something like a year ago, and I was like, she's so cute, I'm gonna go watch some of her videos. And I watched your dreadlocks viral video, and I watched your videos about hiking the Appalachian Trail, about how you didn't use shampoo for 30 days, your minimalist videos, which like I need to take a page out of your book because I'm a disaster. Anyways, she has an awesome, amazing brand, so you guys have to go subscribe to her right now and follow her. She's gonna be like your new favorite YouTube channel to follow for sure. I wanna tell them your story, and we're gonna talk a little bit about what we learned at the Greatness Mastermind this weekend. So you guys know that I've been in Lewis's program for the last year and a half, and Alyse joined it this year.
Yeah.
And we just came out of a mastermind weekend. She stayed with me all weekend, and we're gonna tell you the top 3 things that we learned from the whole entire weekend, along with a little bit of Alyse's business story, her growth on YouTube, and a bunch of other fun stuff. So go ahead and start with your story.
Yeah, so much to share with you today. Okay, so my story. I'm gonna start with when I was in school. I was going to school in Georgia, and I was kind of enjoying it in the beginning, but it got to a point where I just started to realize what I wanted to be doing, and it wasn't necessarily something that I needed a degree for. I had a lot of health issues that were kind of caused by lifestyle, like food, diet, lack of self-care, and I started to get clear on the fact that I needed to get those things on track because I was just not in a good place. So I kind of did a whole overhaul of the way that I took care of myself and started to treat myself better and started to feel so much better so quickly. And because of that massive contrast from feeling so low to so high and incredible, I wanted to share with other people my journey and just maybe inspire them to do the same in their own little way, to just spice up their life and start caring for themselves. So I just got so passionate about health and well-being, and that's when I created Raw Alignment. And yeah, I guess that was around 4 years ago at this point. So I was just really had a lot of tension within me in regards to school because it was not pulling me closer to what I wanted to be doing and sharing with the world. So I left, and I also had this little dream of like getting dreadlocks, moving to Hawaii, and living in a van.
And you did.
And I did.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I just kind of woke up one day and was like, what am I waiting for? And I had no real money at the time. I moved to Hawaii with $500, and I literally like sold the furniture in my home and sold my clothes, and that's when I like really got into minimalism too, and like that's how I got the $500. I moved to Hawaii, I lived on a fruit farm, and at that point I was just like diving into health coaching, and yeah, I was like living in this little hut, like working on the land in exchange for the place to live.
Wow.
And
oh my god, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was for a couple of months, and then I moved into a van. I still just had like 2 health coaching clients, and I was actually on food stamps at the time, which is something that I was insecure to share for a long time. But yeah, I was, and I believed in myself and my ability to make my dreams come true so much that I wanted to give myself that cushion room of not needing to make enough money to pay for food, really. So I got on food stamps, and I just focused on what I wanted to be doing, which was making YouTube videos and just sharing and documenting my life, and the feedback was just so incredible. So I just kept going with that, and eventually I was in so much alignment with my truth that I had videos go viral, and I really do believe that that was why that took place.
Wow, really?
I was so focused on what I was doing and felt so clear-minded, and it was at a really good point in my life when all of that happened. So that kind of took me from around 50,000 subscribers on YouTube to around 350,000 in a couple of days.
That's insane. imagine the amount of like influx of comments and like people that you got communicating with you.
Yeah.
An extra 300,000 people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was the point where I was like, okay, maybe I am open to learning about business. Like up until that point, I just had this thought process around business that like it was boring and it wasn't somewhere that I could be, it wasn't something I could pursue and also be creative, which was just a belief that was so untrue.
Well, when you think about like business school and college, it seems really formal, conservative, and boring.
Yeah. And
not creative, fun, flowy, aligned.
Yeah, but there's definitely a way to combine the two, which I feel we both have completely done.
Absolutely.
So yeah, at that point I just started trying new things. I just created little programs, I created a self-love ebook, and I just wanted to share things because there were so many people tuning in that I just felt like I needed and wanted to share more than just YouTube videos.
And people crave that too. Like they want more from you if they feel in alignment and they love the things that you're saying on videos. Like they want to gather more things from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was such a fun process to pursue that and to try new things and see what worked and see what didn't and see what really resonated with me, what was stressful, and just go down that whole path. And I guess everything just continued to grow, and I started to realize that everything would run way more efficiently if I had help and if I wasn't just doing everything on my own, because I'm a dreamer and I have so many ideas of what I want to do and create and share, and it's just a lot to do as one person.
So that like brings us, we can go into point number one, because that actually, now we're going to talk a little bit about the top 3 things you and I both learned at the mastermind this weekend. Yeah. So do you want to go into the first one? Because you're a dreamer and visionary, if you're like a big picture thinker, you can want to start a lot of things all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not necessarily the best idea. So what's our first thing?
So our first thing is priority dilution. And when I learned about this at the mastermind, I was just like, yes, that is 100% what I've been doing with my life for a little while now. And essentially that means that I'm not just focusing on one thing or the main things, but I'm kind of spreading myself thin with a lot of different things, a lot of different ideas, and it kind of just slows down growth and it just kind of cuts off my flow as well.
Yeah, and it can be really exciting to start something new, and both of her and I have not an issue, I guess you could say, but we need to follow through people on our team because we like starting things in the momentum of like when it's first launching, but then it can also kind of feel like the momentum slows down when it's already launched and you're like, what's the next project? Yeah. Which can be a good thing and a bad thing, but something that we learned this weekend, the guy is named Rory Vaden, and he taught us all about this priority dilution thing. He has a book called Take the Stairs, which is all about doing the things that you don't want to do, procrastination of the hard things. And in any kind of business, there's things that you know you really should be doing and you know you really should not be doing, like scrolling social media, checking your email, doing a bunch of like minutia tasks essentially that don't really move the needle for you. And if you ask yourself at the end of the day, did I win the day? Did I make more money? Did I profit today? Did I have a really solid day of work? Did I get something done that's moving me closer to my goal? And you say no consistently, which is funny because sometimes you can just get into like a flow and like a season and maybe personal shit's going on. That can happen. And it's normal, it's okay, but it's really good to just be reminded of that. Another speaker that we had named Matthew Hussey told us that 1 hour of being in flow and doing something that's driving you forward is equal to 10 hours of, what was the other thing that he said? Procrastination or not being in flow?
1 hour of working in flow is equivalent to 10 hours of work not being in flow, which is so true. 10
hours wasted time just by doing random shit you don't need to be doing. So a good reminder for a lot of you guys, let us know in the comment section, or if you're listening to the podcast, think about it in your head, whether or not you're not prioritizing the right things right now. So that's something that we both have done too. Guilty, raise our hand. Like, we're not saying that we are not guilty of that either, because we totally are, but it's good to hold in the reins again. Yeah,
it's been a really, really wonderful reminder to keep that in mind.
Yeah. So what was the second thing that we wanted to talk about?
Getting clear on our problem and our solution and our result within our brand, within our business. And that has been like a tough one for me. Honestly, I've just gotten clear on like what my mission is in regards to raw alignment, because for a long time it's just been like spreading the love to everyone around the world.
Right.
And it's
so worked for you so far.
Yeah, but it's been extremely helpful to really get clear on what the majority of people who are tuning into raw alignment are struggling with.
Yeah. So like, what's the main problem for you? Like, the problem of the people that tune into raw alignment, and then the solution that you give them for their problem, and then the result that they get from your solution.
Yeah, so I think the biggest problem is limiting beliefs and carrying around those stories that they were told, that they tell themselves, that are just holding them back, telling them they can't, they're not worthy, just so many different limiting beliefs. The solution that I provide is essentially replacing those limiting beliefs with a more powerful, empowering, truthful statement. So like a positive affirmation of what you actually want to be thinking, what you actually want to be believing. And the result of that is having that confidence that you can do whatever you want to do and actually align with the things you want to pursue.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's beautiful. And I think it's something to be said for the fact that like both her and I have gotten to the point that we have in our businesses without even having like a super clear problem, solution, result. It's been embedded in what we do, so it's almost like an unconscious message that our followers and audience understand from us.
Because it's the way that we are living our lives.
We're representing what that is. So for me, I've determined that after this weekend, like I'm just figuring this out now, so don't feel bad if you don't have it figured out, or you don't have it figured out in 4 years after you start your business like us. The problem that I solve is lack of freedom. So feeling restricted to your current job, your current situation in your household, your current environment, your current location. And the solution that I provide is understanding how to take risky action, imperfect action, actually providing the tangible, tactical, practical things that are gonna get you to where you wanna go, the frameworks, the mindsets to take you out of that restricted place, whether it's like your crappy job, whether it's your environment, whether it's your friendships, relationships, but mostly your business, because that's what I do now. And the result, financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom. Yeah.
So powerful.
So good things to think about for all of you too. So if you guys want to write down, what's your problem that you're solving? What's the
solution?
What's the solution that you want to provide for your audience? And what is the result that they get from having that solution? So what's the third thing?
The third thing, quantity over quality in regards to the content that we're creating, that you're creating. This has been like a tough one for me because I see the trends. I see the trends around what's working for other people, and whenever I tune into that, I feel like it like pulls me out of my element a little bit. So what I feel naturally called to do is to share quality content, not just like crank things out, because I'm an introvert. We're both introverts, and like it can be really draining, and I just feel it's inefficient. It's like a waste of people's time to tune into quantity of content. Just like
a bunch of content vomit, basically. That's what he said. This is like a talk from the Matthew Hussey guy that came to speak at our mastermind. And he had the same argument where he's like an artist at heart, and I'm sure you are an artist at heart because your videos are always really beautiful. That the value that goes into a really well created video or piece of content allows you to be heard, not just the noise. The noise is the problem, essentially. Like there's so much saturation, but it's not necessarily competitive. It's saturated but not competitive. My friend Angie Lee says this all the time. I was like, genius, because the people that are in the realm playing the real game are the ones providing real value. But I also was talking to Yaya a little bit, and we're also talking about the value of having quantity in the beginning. So when you're just getting started, you have nothing, you're a perfectionist because you see someone like Alyse's videos, Matthew Hussey's videos or something like that, and you're like, I have to be that now or nothing. And that's actually not true either. You don't have to start with that, because sometimes you don't have access to like super quality camera. Like some of these people have video teams.
And you might just not have the experience in the beginning. Like you go back to my first couple of videos and they are not quality. Exactly. But I was consistent.
So consistency over quality, I would say in the beginning, only because that's what helps you build confidence and experience and trust and credibility. So when you're doing it so consistently and you say, oh my god, there's like 20 videos on this person's channel and they just got started, like that's building trust for me because they're actually caring, they're showing up, number one, and they're posting pretty good stuff. Like, you do have to still care about what you actually post. So
you don't want to just like double chin shots.
Right, and like what I see on people's Instagram when I'm auditing Instagrams is that they're just posting a picture of food or their coffee cup just to throw it up there, and then a random caption just to throw it up there. That's not what I mean about consistency every day. I still think that you should care about making sure that your pictures are of quality, and even if you don't have time to do YouTube videos yet or a podcast yet, like at least start with Instagram or Facebook. Writing or taking pictures is less time for you to create something quality, so maybe start with like the lowest barrier of entry, like Instagram and Facebook, because you can either write or just take pictures, or both, and then that can be quality, but still doing it consistently will breed confidence in yourself that you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about, and you can work up to that quality, I believe, as long as you're committed to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Something else that Matthew said was that entertainment can be a vehicle for the education that you want to share with people, and that was a huge takeaway for me. And that's just like something that can maybe inspire us and inspire you to focus on enhancing the quality and the entertainment over time.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, to get the message across.
So what are the things that you're going to be focusing on moving forward in your own business? What's the vision that you see for yourself, and what are you most excited for?
Oh my gosh. Well,
it's a big question.
Yeah, definitely continuing to really grow my team, but grow like a close-knit team, and kind of get clear on how often we're communicating, how we're communicating with each other, and creating like a little family feel stronger and stronger. And also, just getting back into consistency. I've had like a rocky past year, and I'm just excited to really focus in on the main priorities and not dilute my priorities.
I love that. Well, guys, make sure you follow Alyse. She's actually going to be starting putting some business content on her channel, but if you miss the health and fitness stuff, she's got plenty of that.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you guys for listening. Go follow her at Raw Alignment on everything. Subscribe to her channel, all of the fun things. And thank you guys so much for listening. We'll catch you guys in the next video/podcast. Bye.